Starfield just had what I would honestly say is one of the single best showcases I've ever seen for a video game, the Starfield Direct, but somehow it's still getting hate. See, there's been a lot of hate online, and of course most of that we can just straight up ignore because it's usually just people comparing the game to No Man's Sky, even though the two games are completely different. One is an RPG and one is not, but I'm not going to rant about that for an hour. And I honestly think that the other half of the hate is mostly coming from salty PlayStation fans. And look, I have nothing against PlayStation. I absolutely love my PS5 and I love my Series X, and honestly I prefer my PS5. But we've got to call it how it is, right? But look, there's also a now small group of people hating on Starfield, or rather should we say worrying about it, mainly because of Todd Howard's latest interview. I am a few days late to this, I know, because I didn't plan on covering it, because to me this isn't a big deal, like, at all, but the controversy, if you will, is wildly getting out of hand. I'm seeing it everywhere, on my own channel, on my friends' channels, on my friends' streams even, and of course on Twitter, but Twitter will complain about anything. You could post that you just beat cancer and someone would find a way to say something negative about it. Now look, a lot of this is coming down to Todd Howard confirming that yes, only 10% of planets in Starfield will have life on them. And of course, the moment he said that, some people genuinely shared their concerns, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone is entitled to feel how they feel, man, but a lot of other people started using it as an excuse to just straight up hate on the game. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, 10% is still a lot. 10% of 1,000 planets is still 100 planets with life. If Bethesda at the first showcase confirmed that Starfield had 100 planets, most of us still would have been shocked, because ask anyone. Most people were expecting like 5 planets at most. Nobody really expected such a massive game because we were all imagining the maps to be like Elder Scrolls or Fallout. My overall point here is that we've known about this for a hot minute, we just didn't have a percentage to go off, right? Todd has always said that yes, most planets will be empty, but guess what? Starfield still has more handcrafted content than any previous Bethesda Game Studios game. Starfield still has more dialogue than any previous Bethesda Game Studios game. We even have a confirmation in the Starfield Direct that we have more weapons than any previous BGS game. Like, this game has content, clearly. It's filled to the rim of it. And most of us will probably be playing Starfield for thousands and thousands of hours, just like we did with Skyrim, just like we did with Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 and Oblivion and so on. And look, I'm not saying, like, if you don't think that Starfield looks good, you're an idiot or anything like that. I'm not saying that you can't be concerned, of course you can. Games are subjective, and that's the beauty of video games. I have many concerns surrounding Starfield myself. I absolutely hate the fact that every companion is a part of Constellation. I dislike the fact that it looks like we can't customise the interiors of our ships, but of course that hasn't been confirmed, so on and so forth. The point is, if you think Starfield won't have content, you are wrong. Even Fallout 76, and look, no offence to the people who do play Fallout 76, I actually do quite enjoy it now, but let's be honest, it's easily voted the worst Bethesda Game Studios game, still is stacked with content when you play it. I'm not saying that you'll enjoy the content in Starfield, but I'm saying it will be there, I promise you that. It's also really important for people to realise that while yes, of course this is an open world space RPG, it's set in a realistic world. Not overly realistic, there will be some fantasy there as we have seen, but most of it is set in a world that could maybe be possible in 300 years if we stretch a little bit, right? And guess what? Most planets in real life are empty. They have nothing on them, and they aren't good for anything besides resource collection and exploration. And that's exactly what we'll be doing in Starfield. And look, this might be a little bit of a hot take, but I honestly thought that collecting resources for settlements in Fallout 4 was really fun. Like, yeah, okay, it was irritating running out of resources and needing to go, like, out of your way to find more, but at the same time, it was really fun going into buildings, killing all the enemies inside, and looting the entire place, and going home to improve your settlement. And I don't see how Starfield will really be any different, only this time we'll be going to planets or moons, killing the creatures on said planet, and returning to an outpost instead of a settlement. And again, it's also very important to note that when Todd said life, we don't actually know what he means here. He might have meant only 10% of planets have humans, but a lot more have creatures. Or he might have meant that only 10% have life in general, including creatures, and the rest are empty. But even then, I honestly think that that's okay. And Also, even if you hate that, you know for a fact that there's going to be a more enemies mod or something along those lines that fill these planets to the rim with things for us to find and things for us to kill. And most of us play with mods anyway. Look, the entire point that I'm trying to make here is that I think that this is just a pretty poor excuse to start hating on Starfield, but look, today's usually my day off, so super short video today because I want to go and play video games. But that's my thoughts on what's going on. We will be back to our usual content and breakdowns on Monday. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave it a like, it really does help out more than you can imagine. And of course, if you are new around here and you do want to stay up to date on everything Starfield, I'm talking news, leaks, breakdowns, deep dives and so much more, consider subscribing because I've got you covered. Lastly, as always, a big massive thank you to all of the channel members for sticking with me month after month. You guys are absolutely beautiful. I love you all so much. But with that said, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you for our next video on Monday. Peace.